I'm always, as an entrepreneur, I feel that, in business you can transform society, you can improve society.
Yeah, sure.
And so I've always thought of business as a great way to provide great livelihoods and great opportunities to people.
Cuando me dijeron que iba a entrevistar a Philip Wilson como parte de Business Trip Guatemala en el entorno del Volcano Summit, lo último que pensé es que Philip de hecho es guatemalteco y que además de todo su background como emprendedor tiene una vocación social impresionante. Sé que la conversación que vamos a tener va a ser muy inspiradora, así que los invito a que nos acompañen en la entrega de hoy. Hi Philip.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you.
Good. Welcome to Antigua.
Thank you very much. How's everything going?
Good. I'm excited to be here in Antigua, here in Volcano, and just being with so many entrepreneurs.
Cool. Actually, I was reading a little bit about yourself, before this conversation, and I have seen very impressive things. So you have been working here for so many years now, no?
Yeah. So moved here 20 years ago, and probably my favorite project are my street cleaners.
Okay.
That's actually who I have coffee with every morning in the park, and it's actually an initiative not just of myself, of a group of local entrepreneurs, and we saw there were people sleeping in the park.
Okay.
And we said, hey, why don't we teach them how to clean the streets?
Oh.
And so we went to talk to the mayor, and you need a permit for everything here.
Yeah,
so he
sure.
says, hey, can we
can
help you clean your streets?
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah.
And she says, yes. We got a big water truck and a pressurized hose to clean all the sidewalks. And so anyway, that's how I start my day, and that's, I think, why I love Antigua so much, because I get to have coffee with them.
Cool. And when and how did you find that you enjoyed that kind of social impact endeavors,
Yeah, actually, Antigua is our most visited city by tourists, right?
Okay.
And so this particular project, my wife and I have a Great Dane that I take walking every morning, and we were walking in the streets, and we saw that they weren't impeccable.
Okay.
And we says, wow, there's all these people sleeping on the park, and we need job creation here, right? And so my wife and I have always thought that what brings prosperity to a country are initiatives that create great jobs.
Yeah.
And so I think, I'm always, as an entrepreneur, I feel that, in business you can transform society, you can improve society.
Yeah, sure.
And so I've always thought of business as a great way to provide great livelihoods and great opportunities to people.
No, and actually being myself from a Latin American country, I do think that most people need tools instead of, gifts in terms of being able to provide for themselves, no?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not a big fan of people coming here and kind of seeing our people as objects of pity and giving things away, and say I think we have a great people here that have lots of energy and very creative. And sometimes they just need some ideas on, how to use the skills they have to increase prosperity.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big believer in handouts. It says, let's figure out what we can contribute to the world. And I think, like these initiatives like Volcano, people come here from all over the world and they're like, wow, your people are pretty special. They're also pretty nice.
Cool.
They say hi, good morning, and and then they're also very creative and hardworking people.
Yeah.
And I also saw that you are working for a couple of years now, maybe in a project called El Cubo or something.
Yeah. So I'm an organic coffee farmer.
Okay.
And which basically means that I have other sources of income, because if I was just a coffee farmer, I'd be really poor. So I've always thought that Antigua, the economy is based on tourism and coffee, and it really hasn't allowed us to generate a lot of wealth in the town. So we got together actually with my wife, and we said, wouldn't it be cool if we created this super innovative space that would encourage people to work together. It would inspire innovation and attract, tech companies particularly that, would be able to create jobs that are higher paying than what you find in tourism and in coffee, and that are growing. And so we started, we opened up a year ago, and we have about 40 companies working there.
Impressive.
About 100 co-workers, and it's really, you go in there, and we created it in such a way that people have to bump into each other all the time.
Do you have there any kind of specialization in terms of industries, or is across?
I mean, there's everything.
space?
So everything from like impact funds that are funding social entrepreneurs to we have a couple engineers that work for Jet Propulsion Laboratory that fix satellites from there, to tech companies that do programming for companies in the United States, to social enterprises like Ecofiltro and Clean Cook Stoves. I think the filter we used is, is this company going to improve society? Is it going to create lots of jobs? And is it something that will inspire a lot of people to join them? Because we wanted companies that were going to be in industries that were going to be growing, so that we could create more jobs.
Tell me, please, a little bit about Ecofiltro, because I saw that you have been working in so many places around the world with that initiative. Yes?
Yeah. So that's it's been a really fun project. I got involved 10 years ago, and it was actually a foundation that my mother had started.
Okay.
And she had focused the foundation on access to potable water, but she was only helping like 2,000 families a year. So I'm 40 years old. I'm going through my midlife crisis, having trouble getting out of bed because, I lacked really a noble purpose. I was just living my life before that, making money. And so I went to the foundation, and I saw that things could be run better if we weren't dependent on donations. So we took this filter that was invented in Guatemala, which is one of our inventor called Fernando Mazariegos, who created this incredible filter that looks like a flower pot that has high cultural acceptance. And I said, hey, what if I start putting these filters into like beautiful ceramic receptacles, clay receptacles, glass receptacles, and sell them to urban families at a really good margin, and then go back to rural areas where the foundation was working and bring the price down so low that anyone could afford it.
Okay.
So we would no longer give it away, which I thought was counterproductive because it was creating dependency.
That's correct.
So it basically, to make a long story short, we went from, donating 2,000 to this year we'll reach over 250,000 families, and 60% are in rural areas.
Good leader is about empowering the rest of the people to be, to be able to work on their own, not needing the leader anymore.
I mean, being treated like you would want to be treated. Like if you're working for a company, you would want to be empowered. You would want to get the message that the person leading the company, wants to use your creativity to move the ball forward, right? And so that's kind of my philosophy is, I want to be treated how I would want to be treated if I was working in the company. And so I let everyone experiment and they grow, because like Ecofiltro, and my other company in the city.
Again, thank you very much for being with us in Latin's business trip.
Thank you for coming.
I have enjoyed a lot the conversation with you.
Thank you. Likewise.
So, see you around.
Yeah, and hey, come back for Volcano every year.
For sure. The idea is that this will be the first, but not the last.
Yeah, right on.